Hello, third grade. Today's going to be our last lesson. Tomorrow we're just going to have a little quiz going over everything we've learned the first quarter. So the first thing I'm going to do, of course, is write my name. And this is going to be more of word problems. They're going to be a little longer. So first we're going to go over Jason earns $6 per week for doing all his chores. On the fifth week, he forgets to take out the trash, so he only earns 4. So every week he earns 6, except on the fifth week he earns 4. Write and solve an equation to show how much Jason earns in 5 weeks. So here is the first week. So as we can see here, this represents 6, so that represents 1 week. So the first week, 6. Second week, 6. Third week, 6. In the fourth week, he earned $6 as well for his chores. But then on the fifth week, he earned less. He only earned 4. So now let's see, how can we make a multiplication problem if we take away this for these 4 boxes with a tape diagram? Remember, we can say how many boxes? 1, 2, 3, 4. Times how many in each box. And they all have the same, so they all have 6. So now I can skip count by 4s to our 6th finger. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So I know that for the first 4 weeks, he earned $24. But then on the 5th week, he earned $4. And remember, we're solving for, we want to know the total amount of money. So that's what we don't know. So I'm going to add my $4 to my 24. 4 plus 4 is 8. And I bring my 2 right down. So I know that Jason earns $28. That was his total for the 5 weeks. So I wrote it out in my tape diagram, and I could use my multiplication for all the ones that were equal, that had $6. But the fourth one, the $4, the 5th week, we had to add, because if we said 6 times 5, we wouldn't have the right answer. So now let's try it again right down here. Miss Leonto orders 4 packs of 7 markers. So we know each, the 4 packs, they all have 7 markers each. After passing out 1 marker to each student in her class, she has 6 left. So she passed them all out to 1 per student and then ended up keeping 6. Label the tape diagram to find out how many students are in Miss Leonto's class. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out how many markers we have. We want the total amount of markers. And that's what we don't know. But we do know she has 4 packs of 7. So 1 pack, 2 pack, 3 pack, 4 pack. So again, how can I make a multiplication sentence about this tape diagram? I take how many boxes times how many in each box. So I can count by 4s to my 7th finger. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So I know there is a total amount of 28 markers. And this tape diagram represents my markers. So I'm going to circle it because I know this is important. Now we want to figure out how many students there are. So I'm going to write down students and label it. So we know that we used a total of 28 markers. And right here, again, we're solving for what we don't know. The students. So if I know we have a total of 28, so I'm going to draw, this represents my 28 markers, and we give 1 to each student, and then we have 6 left over. We're going to take away our 6 from our 28. Excuse me. So I'm going to write 28 because this is my total amount of markers. I have 6 left over, so I need to take away those 6 from the 28 to figure out how many students there are. So if I have 8 and I take away 6, I have 2. Again, my 2 goes down. 2 minus 0 is 2. there are 22 students in Miss Leonto's class. So that's just showing how sometimes we're going to have tricky answers and they're going to be 2 steps. I couldn't just solve it by one tape diagram. I had to use 2 tape diagrams. So now let's go over this one here. And we're just going to be going over number 4 as a 2-step problem. Eudora buys 21 meters of ribbon, so that's the total. She cuts the ribbon so that each piece measures 3 meters in length. How many pieces of ribbon does she have? So I know I'm going to write here, draw my tape diagram. I know the total amount is 21 meters. And she divided them all into 3 meters. So I'm going to draw my 3 right below. So now we have to decide how many pieces she has. So remember, we're solving for our unknown, so we can use division. So we have our total of 21. Now I'm dividing it up against my 3. And now I want to solve for how much. How many pieces is that? How many pieces of 3 can I get out of 21? So we're going to go over when I do division. It's saying how many times can I count by 3 till I get to 21. So we're going to use our fingers, count by 3 till we get to 21, and then see how many fingers we're using. So I only have one hand to use, so when we get to the second hand, we'll just add them together. So here we go. We have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. So I used one full hand and 2 fingers on this hand, which will give me 7. So we know she has 7 pieces of ribbon. If you're not comfortable yet with counting out using your hands for your division, we can always go like this. We can say 3, that gives me 6, that gives me 9. You can always write it out on your tape diagram and see how many boxes you have left. So now we're going to go to number B. Letter B, I'm sorry. If Eudora needs a total of 12 pieces of the shorter ribbon, how many more pieces of the shorter ribbon does she need? So we have a total of 7. We have a 7 right now, but we need a total of 12. So here is our 7 pieces. She needs a total of 12 pieces. So we want to know how many pieces does she need left. So remember, we can look over here. We have our total of 12. That is our total that we need. We have a part of 7. We need this other part. So we're solving for this part, which means we're going to use subtraction. I need a total of 12. I have 7. How many more do I need? So now remember, I can't take 2 away from 7. I'm going to have to borrow. So now we have 12 again, minus 7. And if it helps, you can count up on your fingers from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5 would be my answer. 12 minus 7 is 5. So she needs 5 more pieces. And then I'm going to add a period because it's the end of a sentence. So for homework today, our problems are going to be 2 steps. They're going to be short answer or word problems, but 2 steps. So make sure you take your time. You have a piece of paper and a pencil so you can write out your answers using tape diagrams, arrays, whatever you feel comfortable, a tool you feel comfortable with. All right, and you can find your homework assignment on Edmodo. Thank you and have a good rest of